So we really have to decide what we want to do in today's episode because we have a bunch of options as far as, what bosses we go for next. For instance, we could go do Plantera, or we could just go do the Pumpkin Moon because we have a Pumpkin Moon medallion that we got from the Lich, which is nice, I suppose. But it's like, well, what's really worth it here? I think the Pumpkin Moon would be fine. I don't think it's particularly like a huge thing for us to go do. I think there might be one or two items that come from it for us, but at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think it's of great importance. Also, I found out I could do this. Let's zoom out. Hold on. Boop. Instead of it just like launching like that, just like go straight up. I thought it was really funny. I accidentally clicked and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I put two and two together and figured out what it was doing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna drop my potions, I think, in our stash here. And then that way, I can go create an arena for Plantera if need be. Oh, also, we don't even have any Plantera bulbs. Ooh, is there a way in, no, we need a Plantera bulb. I don't even know if there are Plantera bulbs spawned at this point. Like, we haven't really been in the world that much. Maybe we do a Pumpkin Moon. I think I'm gonna go look around for some more life fruit and hope for the best. And then once it gets dark, we'll go do a Pumpkin Moon. Man, this weapon is so cool. It does home in on enemies when you fire it. Oh, let's go ahead and get that. Did I miss any life fruit up there? I actually wasn't looking up till that point where there suddenly was one. Man, that's nice. I like this weapon a lot too. It's like the base booster, but a trumpet. I love it. So this is the third day in a row of me recording while being sick. And I'll tell you what, I feel so much better today, like from sick feeling. However, I have the endless cough. It was one of those things where last night, got into bed. It was fairly late because I uploaded last night's episode, and then I was doing 3D printing, so I was waiting for a print to finish, and I was also painting a commission at the same time, so I was just like all over the place as far as what I needed to do. Finally get into bed, and the moment I lay down, sure enough, I start coughing, and I can't stop coughing. I was like, I'm gonna wake up the baby at this point. My wife is like gonna stay awake if I stay here continuously coughing, right? So I was like, I can't do this. I have to go somewhere else. So I went, took some cough medicine, got a cough drop, and just like sat around waiting till my cough would go away. And it kind of did. And I was like, all right, maybe it's starting to go. And I'm really tired. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. I'm like, I need to go to bed. So I went and laid down, and it just came back. It didn't want to go away, and I got such terrible sleep last night. I hate when that happens. Let me know if that's ever happened to you, where you're just like, you can't fall asleep because you're constantly coughing and there's nothing that you can do to get rid of it. And it's not just laying down causes the coughing. It was like, I was already kind of coughing and I was expecting it to kind of go away as I got drowsy, but that just didn't happen. It just wouldn't let me, and it sucked. It sucked so bad. I hate that feeling. Anyway, so yeah, I've got the endless cough. Hate when that happens. And now I just wait for that to go away, which really sucks because I have, like I said before, like a bunch of games that I've been sent that are really cool that I want to check out, cover on the channel, and do first impressions or impressions videos of, depending on the game, because it does change. If it's a fairly deep game, I don't usually do a first impressions, but if it's a fairly short game, then yeah, I'll do a first impressions of it instead of a just full on like I've played this game for 30 hours AMA, right? So yeah, it sucks. I've had that. I've wanted to do those, but I've just had to put it on hold. I cannot do anything with it because I can't talk for long periods of time without just like getting into a coughing fit. Right now, I'm stifling a cough. It's like right there. It just wants to come, but you know what? I'm a professional. I suffer from my art. I've got a question. What was the worst time you were ever sick? And this could be like, having to go to the hospital sick or anything like that. Because I think for me, I think the worst I've ever been sick was food poisoning, where I felt like I was literally gonna die. It was so bad. I remember I was living at a buddy of mine's house, like way back. This is like, man, like 2009, 2010. And it was one of those situations where I got food poisoning. I'm pretty sure, I was thinking it might have been Panda Express, but that might have been a different time because that was awful. Having food poisoning and, you know, having eaten chow mein and then that coming back up is not, to goodness, that is not a fun experience. Sorry, I know that is a very disgusting thought, but it's true. Don't ever get food poisoning from Chinese food. It's the worst. So, not that you have any control over that, but I hope that you don't, because it's the worst experience ever. So I got food poisoning, and it was one of those situations where I jumped onto Facebook. I was like, I cannot leave the house right now. I am dying. Can anyone bring me like Gatorade or something just to rehydrate myself? Because water ain't doing it. I just needed like something, just anything. And there was nothing that I could actually make that was being able to be kept down. Man, I was working in retail at the time, and I had to call in. I was like, I'm so sick. I like literally can't come in. They're like, are you sure? Like, you're really causing us an inconvenience. I'm like, screw you. I'm dying. And that's like, you know, about the point that I realized I shouldn't be working for them anymore, because I wasn't a valued human being, apparently. Anyway, so yeah, that was probably the worst time I've ever been sick, where just terrible. Ooh, we finally got a turtle shell, and we don't even have room to pick it up. Terrible food poisoning. I've never had to be hospitalized, ever, actually. I've never broken any bones. The only time that I've ever had to go to the ER was I was managing a coffee house, and I'm not going to go into this crazy story of all these details, but basically I had cut the tip of my finger off with a coffee grinder. Long story. It sucked, but it grew back. So that's cool. As a parent, you know, apparently your hand does a pretty good job growing things back. It was like, I would say like, I don't know. I can't even think. Like, actually, you know what? I have a tape measure here that I use for sizing up packages for Etsy. Give me a second. I'll tell you exactly how much. Yes, I use it for Etsy packages. It's probably like 3 or 4. Like it was 3 or 4 millimeters. It was like down to the like a quarter of my fingernail, like down into there. And yeah, it totally grew back. Terrible experience. But that was the only time I've ever actually gone to the hospital for something. And I'm, goodness, how old am I? I think I'm 34. I don't want to do the math. I am 34. I'm 33. I'm going to be 34? Yes. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm going to be 34 this year. Okay, cool. We did math. And I've only ever been to the hospital once. And you know what? I think that's pretty good odds. But I want to hear about yours. What is the sickest you've ever been? And did you ever have to go to the hospital? For some of you, it's not going to be that bad because a lot of you are super young. Totally get it. For others, you know, you've been around a while, to put it nicely. And we older people, much higher chance of going somewhere, just based on, you know, statistics. Oh my goodness, these little bastards screwing me over. I think I'm gonna go back, empty this out, and make these drums. How about we do that? I just put like 2 platinum in our piggy bank here. Or it was close to it. It was like a platinum and 74 silver or gold or something like that. It was quite a lot. And I realized it was from killing those mimics. The mimics gave me a bunch of gold. And then on top of that, I sold the stuff from the mimics, which gave me a bunch of gold. Gotta love it. Man, it's really nice to just like suddenly have a bunch that I'm not gonna have to worry too much about. All right, it's finally nighttime. We can do that pumpkin moon if we want to. Thing to consider, we can't skip to the daytime, so we would have to basically sit the entire pumpkin moon sitting there killing things. I don't know if I want to do that right away, so we're gonna wait a little bit. But we need to make the turtle thing. Turtle. Wow, caps locks are on. Turtle drums. Where are you? So I need cloth, of course. Of course I need cloth. Out of everything that I need. Sure. Okay. Turtle drums. Boom. Bam. Okay, so what do these do? They do a stupid amount of damage, apparently. 104. Releases 2 horizontal bursts of sound. Deals additional damage to enemies on the ground. Players with bonus. Aquatic ability 1. Movement speed 2. Jump height 3. Okay, so what does this look like? Okay, cool. It's like a ground slam almost, right? Oh, and it looks like it's piercing through some blocks here. This is interesting. Because it's not great. Like, I get it. It's probably quite nice for farming things here and there, but for the most part, I feel like it could use a little bit of help. Like, compared to this crazy trumpet that we have, maybe not the greatest item. I used up those life fruit that we got, and I've not been able to find a Plantera bulb just yet, but it's always good to, once you've gone through the jungle and you're kind of looking for one, to just scan and look for the little pink bit. Not like that. That's life quartz. But, you know, kind of like this. Like we're looking for something kind of like that, because it's possible that I passed one and just was not paying attention. And it's often the case that I will go looking for a Plantera bulb, not find one, and then just take a second and go and look. And then I find one that I may have passed up. The other option here is to just kind of go left in the jungle a little bit more and try to search that way as well. All right, let's go do the Pumpkin Moon. I think we're going to head to the dungeon where our arena is. So let's go over here. And yeah, we'll test this out a little bit. Oh, wrong button. Because we have, like, you know, we have some good weapons. So my anticipation, or what I am anticipating rather, is that this is going to go fairly well. All right, let's try the drums. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Like, I get it for this. For, like, clearing just groups of enemies that are flying at you, sure. But the moment that we start getting ranged enemies or some of the bosses, like, this just becomes the most useless thing ever. It's not going to be good. Or dudes that jump on me like that. Okay, cool. So we're already out of usefulness of that. And we just got to farm everything else out. All right, we got our first morning wood. Yep, gonna let that joke stick. I think if we're able to kill this thing pretty quick, then the Pumpkin King is going to be, or the Pumpkin rather, is not going to be that difficult. Oh crap, I forgot he could shoot through the ground. It's really kind of annoying. And, like, I love this trumpet, don't get me wrong, but it does like to home in on other things. This other one I'm at least able to kind of hit the top of the tree a little bit easier. It just does so much damage too. I just can't deny that. All right, we got a pumpkin. I'm not sure if I'm gonna live through this. I've already died twice, by the way. It's also about to be daytime, so I don't think I'm gonna kill it in time. But, you know, then again, we got some damage. We got a lot of damage. So it's possible. There's definitely a possibility here. Just gotta keep firing off. About to run out of time. We're getting real close. I think I should be able to kill it. This isn't like a lich situation, or maybe it is. Maybe if I don't hit as much as I want to. Ooh, it's gonna be a close one, actually. It is gonna be a close one. Here we go. Kill the pumpkin, build up pumpkin. Okay, we did it. Oh, we got plenty of time. We had plenty of time. I don't even know what I was worried about. What'd I get there? A pagan's grasp. Ooh. I know that, like, so I've died a couple times and lost a bunch of money. I lost like 40 gold. All right, that's over with. And I think I may have dropped some stuff down here. I'm not sure, so I just need to take a look around. But as it turns out, I didn't really get anything. I killed a couple of the trees, got wood. And that was about it. And maybe I can use that wood to make some kind of weapon? I don't know. I'm assuming the next set of armor I get is going to be like post Plantera. So that's also something to consider. Do these guys sell anything new? Ever since we killed the Lich. Ooh, life water. 125 health. It's not bad. It's like a nice little like in between there that I didn't think existed. Or didn't know existed rather. He's got empty wormhole potion, which I remember from before. What about the mechanic? The mechanic had, you know, stuff for us before, but nothing new now. I kind of wish, what does this do? Sandy boulders will orbit around you and greatly damage enemies. Huh? Ninja rack, yeah, canteen. I kind of wish that some of these NPCs were just a tiny bit more relevant throughout the game. Because, hear me out. This is me putting my game designer hat on and speaking game designer talk for a second. You are already investing art time into some of these NPCs. So, for example, like this shoe guy, the cobbler, I think is what his name is. It looks cool. Well done. Nice little sprite for him. Or even like these two dudes. Like, I love this guy. He cracks me up. Lots of art time is put into him. And then obviously every item that this guy has and the system with the contracts and everything. Ooh, flawless chrysalis, hibernation charm. Pressing the encase key will place you in a fragile cocoon. While in the cocoon, you have greatly increased life recovery, but greatly reduced damage reduction. If you survive the process, your damage and attack speed are briefly increased by 30%. The cocoon may be activated every 1 minute. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I may end up getting that. So you have like his whole contract system. You have, which by the way is fairly relevant to the game. So that point there does not stand with him technically, but then you have like the blacksmith and all these other NPCs. If you're going to already be putting that time in there, you may as well just kind of stretch it out a little longer and be like, okay, now once you kill Plantera, they will sell blah. And you know, Calamity has done this in a good way because they're like all of these NPCs in the game. When you kill certain bosses, they now sell potions. They're like, here you've killed King Slime. Here now this normal NPC now sells like iron skin potions or whatever, and it saves you from having to install another mod with the alchemist NPC. But you know that's a simple example there. However, the point stands of just do something else. It doesn't have to be an item. You don't have to be like, here's a thing that we have to spend more development time on, right? Because then you're creating development debt, which you don't want to do. But what you do is you put something on there, whether it's a consumable or something that's already in the game, and you just allow that to be purchased because you've progressed further. And I love that system that Calamity has introduced, and honestly is something that Thorium has done a little bit of, but I think it needs to go just a bit further. Like, I get that we're kind of close to the end of this series, which is great because as soon as 1.4 stable Tmod loader comes out, which is going to be within the next month, we're jumping to that and we're doing a new series in that. So we want to finish this up, right? But at the same time, you know, like look at like after the Lich, I don't know, have someone sell something cool. Maybe it's something from these bosses from one tier before. So maybe it's not like, you know, maybe from these three mechanical bosses, now that I've killed the Lich, I can buy souls. Instead of having to have Alchemist NPC do that for me, I could buy souls from these people. Or I could buy hallowed bars from the blacksmith. Or actually, is that a possibility? Let's go check. I just thought about that. I made the suggestion. Let's see if they've thought about it. Shop. Nope, I have all of the other stuff, but nothing special. So it's like, you know, you're close. You're really close. So we have our spooky wood, which is nice. What can we make with that? Well, obviously you can make all the wood stuff. You can make all this spooky wood stuff. So that kind of limits what we can do here. However, we can, I don't want to filter by rarity. I want to filter by weapons. So are there any weapons here that are special? Nope, and nothing else. Okay, so then can we go by tools? Nope. Okay, armor. Got the spooky wood armor. Okay, I don't think that there's really anything in particular that we can make that would work to push us a little further, other than the spooky armor, which is used for summoner. So the other option here would be to, a simple broom. I think I could do that with any wood, though. I also have this, which I just saw and read. Happy home token. Place an invisible wall-mounted token. Counts as a chair, table, and light source. So it's kind of a cool way to create houses. I actually really like that. I wish I knew that was in the game before just now, and then I would have prepped maybe a building or two that utilized that and did it in a cool way. But unfortunately, didn't know. And it's nothing to do with the mod. I just didn't do research enough to know that existed. Don't really got anything new here that I can get. So I guess I go back to the jungle and maybe search for Plantera bulbs? Possibly? Oh, I accidentally hit all my buffs because I forgot that this charm allows me to use my potions in my piggy bank as opposed to using them in my inventory. So I hit the buff button expecting to use it in my inventory, use all the stuff in my piggy bank, which sucks. But I also have like 3 platinum, so I'm not too worried about the cost of all that. Okay, good news. We have a Plantera bulb here, which is essentially where I was trying to create a whatchamacallit, a thing that you fight things in, an arena. There we go. That's the word. Nailed it. So I think because it is so close to this bottom one with a bunch of room that I was working on, I think I'm just gonna go with this one. And then just bring it down over here. That probably is gonna be the best route. Maybe I try Plantera. I feel like I don't really have a piercing weapon. That's something to consider. We don't have a piercing weapon. And piercing weapons are really good against Plantera in that second phase where suddenly all hell breaks loose and with a bunch of little tendrils and everything. Really nice to just have a piercing weapon to finish the boss off with. But we don't got that. So I may have to do some research. I think a guitar may be good. Oh, you know what? There is a guitar that someone had mentioned drops from one of the like phantom guy that we saw that's thorium specific in the blood moon. And we could summon a blood moon. So maybe I try to farm that out. Maybe I find a different one. I think honestly it's just going to require a bit of research. And once I'm able to find what weapon to use there, then we go do Plantera. I think quite frankly, and to look at our boss list in just a second once I take care of this, we're gonna go kill Plantera next episode for sure. Like 100% Plantera is gonna die unless I can't find a piercing weapon. Then it might be a little bit more difficult. I'm not so confident in it. So we kill Plantera, we go kill Golem, and then we work on Abyssian, and then we're like at the end of the game. And it's possible that Plantera and Golem are gonna die in the same episode. We're actually really close when you put it that way. I'm used to like Calamity that lasts a bit longer because after you kill Moonlord, you got like a bunch of bosses. But this Thorium playthrough, it's gonna be over real soon. That's kind of sad, but yeah, I don't know. At the same time, I'm kind of excited about that again because we're about to do T-Mod Loader 1.4. What kind of cool stuff is gonna come out in that first month? I don't know, but I don't want to do Calamity. Maybe we'll do like a mini playthrough of something else in the meantime. If you have a mod suggestion, especially if it's split mod, spirit mod, or no, especially if it's one of those two, then yeah, go ahead and definitely let me know in the comments. Otherwise, let me know whatever other mod that you would like to see potentially as an interim series while we kind of mess around for the rest of the month until T-Mod Loader 1.4 is officially in a stable release.